Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about being yourself. Before that, let me first tell you why it's important that you are yourself. When you're not yourself, you usually feel depressed, like you're missing something or like you're bending to everybody's will. And because of that, it usually leads to a whole bunch of self-hate. Something that people that aren't themselves typically do is they come across certain situations where they know the right thing to do, they know what they should be doing, but because of all of the people around them, they feel a certain pressure to do something else. And usually, that other action is something that they themselves don't want to do. Basically, what happens is these people succumb to everybody's will around them. They don't want to do this, but something inside them just doesn't allow them to disobey other people. And this is what we're going to be trying to get rid of. When you look back in your past and you look at the actions that you took, you logically look at it and you think, why did I do that? I knew that that wasn't the right move to do, but I still did it. And it could lead to a feeling of a lack of control whenever you're out in public. How do we get rid of that feeling and how do we get back control of ourselves? The problem is typically when you come across these situations, it means you have a weak aura. You can't be yourself around others because other people's aura overpowers yours, and because of that, you bend to their will. So, what needs to happen is you need to get out of that hole and build yourself up as a person. What that means is taking the steps to build your confidence and competence. So, both of them are linked. Whenever you build competence, you gain confidence. And with enough competence and confidence, you'll be sure of yourself, and with that, you'll not be subject to everybody's will around you. So this latter part of the video is going to be dedicated to finding yourself. Because once you've found yourself, you can begin working on yourself since you know what you really want to do. And with that, you'll be able to gain competence and confidence in who you are as a person. To figure out who you are as a person, you really just need to go through two different things. You need to go through hard work, and you also need to analyze the situations that you find yourself in. So these two things serve as a feedback loop. So you'll basically work hard on yourself and then you'll analyze to see if the work you put in has the desired effect that you want. You'll basically modify and tune the things you are working on based off of your self-analysis. By working hard, I mean finding something and just working on it. So it could be anything. The way to start off is by playing a sport that you want to get good at. You'll want to be consistent. You'll want to be training hard in every session that you have. You'll want to be going to competitions to see how you measure up with other people. And with that, you'll be building competence in that sport. With that competence, you'll be more confident when you're around other people because you're already good in something. Likelihood is you're going to be better than other people at the sport you play because most other people probably don't play that sport. And with that competence, you'll be more confident and you'll basically be able to be yourself more around other people. The whole reason behind that is because you are better than those other people at something, which means that you're more knowledgeable. It means you know better than other people in certain aspects. Because you know that you know better than other people, you'll stop listening to them as much and you'll go your own way. So whatever you want to do is what you'll do. You'll understand that the people around you haven't put in as much work as you have. And because of that, your opinions are more valuable because you know what it takes to do certain things. And it doesn't have to be something like a sport. It could be things that I've said before. So programming, it could be painting a picture. It could be whatever you find interesting. It could be whatever hobby that you've always wanted to develop. To start, and you'll be building competence, which will transform into confidence, and you'll be better off. You'll also be finding yourself in this period of time. So if you're playing a sport and you find out that you don't really like it, feel free to switch. You keep on switching topics until you found one that you really like. Once you find something that you really enjoy doing, you've kind of found a piece of your soul. You basically find out more about yourself. It gives you more of a foundation to make your decisions and base your decisions upon. If you're just starting out with a new activity, I'd recommend just branching out and doing a whole bunch of them at once. That way you're not just starting with one, figuring out that you don't like it, and moving on to another one. you start with a whole bunch, you can just prioritize certain activities and see which ones you like most, and that way you're wasting less time. You can just discard the activities that you don't like, whereas if you're only doing one, you have to go one by one, which is a much longer process. You'll see that once you've found one activity, you're going to want to engage yourself in more. And that's great because the more activities you engage in, the more competence you'll be building. You'll be a well-rounded person, and that's always a great thing. Instead of knowing more about one thing, you'll know more about several things, and that'll just boost your confidence even more. It'll allow you to be yourself further, and people will actually start basing their actions off of you instead. You'll have flipped the script, so you'll be so ingrained in yourself that you'll start noticing that people will be bending to your will. And that's a great thing because it means that you are becoming yourself, which means that you're fulfilling your true purpose. The whole reason you feel depressed when you're not yourself is because you know that you're not fulfilling your true purpose. You might not have this in your mind, but it's ingrained in your subconscious. And whenever your subconscious isn't happy with something, it's like a direct link to the universe, your life never goes well. You want to make sure your subconscious is happy with what you're doing, and that way your life around you will be maybe not perfect, but it'll be going in the right direction. To summarize, what you need to do to be yourself is get really good at something. Being good at something gives you competence in that field, and with that competence, you will gain confidence. When you're confident, you will be able to be yourself around other people because you know that what you do is right, and that's what allows you to be yourself. Another huge thing that you should be aware of is being out of your comfort zone. A huge builder of confidence is just going out and doing things you've never done before. And while out of your comfort zone, you'll eventually gain comfort in being uncomfortable. That's why you should really branch out into a whole bunch of different activities rather than just sticking with one. Because the more activities you branch out in, the more uncomfortable you'll be because you'll be doing a whole bunch of new stuff. But the faster you'll be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I'd recommend just starting on this now. So right after this video, just go online and search up a whole bunch of activities that you'd want to do, whether it be some sport or some other activity. Search for it, find some groups online, and start attending the events that they have. Try to make these activities as hard as possible for you. Don't make them impossible, but make them things that will be difficult to accomplish. Once you've gained competence in that field, you'll be that much more confident than the general public. Most importantly, when you're doing these activities, just be creative with them. The more creativity you can put into these activities, the better it'll be for you. You're able to be creative. You're basically able to put more of yourself into that activity. That'll obviously let you be more comfortable with being yourself. Creativity is the ultimate goal in these activities because when you're able to be creative, it means that you're really good at your sport or whatever craft you're doing. Alright, well, that'll be it for this video. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.